The Safavid dynasty was one of the most significant ruling dynasties of Persia after the fall of the Sasanian Empire during the Muslim conquest of Persia in the 7th century AD, and is often considered the beginning of modern Persian history. The Safavid shahs ruled over one of the so-called gunpowder empires, and they ruled one of the greatest Persian empires after the Muslim conquest of Persia and established the 12th school of Shi'a Islam as the official religion of their empire, marking one of the most important turning points in Muslim history. The Safavid dynasty had its origin in the Safaviyya Sufi order, which was established in the city of Ardabil in the Azerbaijan region. It was of mixed ancestry. For the base in Ardabil, the Safavids established control over parts of Greater Iran and reasserted the Iranian identity of the region, thus becoming the first native dynasty since the Sasanian Empire to establish a unified Iranian state. The Safavids ruled from 1501 to 1722, and at the height, they controlled all of modern Iran, Azerbaijan, Bahrain and Armenia, most of Georgia, the North Caucasus, Iraq, Kuwait and Afghanistan, as well as parts of Turkey, Syria, Pakistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan. Despite the demise in 1736, the legacy that they left behind was the revival of Persia as an economic stronghold between East and West, the establishment of an efficient state and bureaucracy based upon checks and balances, their architectural innovations and the patronage for fine arts. The Safavids have also left the mark down to the present era by spreading Shi'a Islam in Iran, as well as major parts of the Caucasus, Anatolia, and Mesopotamia. Genealogy, ancestors of the Safavids and its multicultural identity. The Safavid kings themselves claimed to be Sayyids, family descendants of the Islamic prophet Muhammad. Although many scholars have cast doubt on this claim, there seems now to be a consensus among scholars that the Safavid family hailed from Persian Kurdistan, and later moved to Azerbaijan, finally settling in the 11th century CE at Ardabil. Traditional pre-1501 Safavid manuscripts trace the lineage of the Safavids to the Kurdish dignitary Firoz Shah Zarankula. According to some historians, including Richard Fry, the Safavids were of Turkicized Iranian origin. The Turkish speakers of Azerbaijan are mainly descended from the earlier Iranian speakers, several pockets of whom still exist in the region. A massive migration of Oghuz Turks in the 11th and 12th centuries not only Turkified Azerbaijan but also Anatolia. The Azeri Turks are Shi'ites and were founders of the Safavid dynasty. Other historians, such as Vladimir Minorsky and Roger Savory, support this idea. For the evidence available at the present time, it is certain that the Safavid family was of indigenous Iranian stock, and not of Turkish ancestry as it is sometimes claimed. It is probable that the family originated in Persian Kurdistan, and later moved to Azerbaijan, where they adopted the Azari form of Turkish spoken there, and eventually settled in the small town of Ardabil sometimes during the 11th century. By the time of the establishment of the Safavid Empire, the members of the family were native Turkish-speaking and Turkicized, and some of the shahs composed poems in the native Turkish language. Concurrently, the shahs themselves also supported Persian literature, poetry and art projects including the Grand Shahnameh of Shah Tahmasp, while members of the family and some shahs composed Persian poetry as well. The authority of the Safavids was religiously based, and the claim to legitimacy was founded on being direct male descendants of the Ali, the cousin and son-in-law of Muhammad, and regarded by Shiites as the first imam. Furthermore, the dynasty was from the very start thoroughly intermarried with both Pontic Greek as well as Georgian lines. In addition, from the official establishment of the dynasty in 1501, the dynasty would continue to have many intermarriages with both Circassian as well as again Georgian dignitaries, especially with the advent of King Tahmasp I. Background: the Safavid Sufi order. Safavid history begins with the establishment of the Safaviyya by its eponymous founder Safavid Ardabil. In 700 and 1301, Safi al-Din assumed the leadership of the Zahidiyya, who were a significant Sufi order in Gilan, from his spiritual master and father-in-law Zad Gilani. Due to the great spiritual charisma of Safi al-Din, the order was later known as the Safaviyya. The Safavid order soon gained great influence in the city of Ardabil, and Hamdullah Mustafi noted that most of the people of Ardabil were followers of Safi al-Din. Religious poetry from Safi al-Din, written in the old Azari language, a now extinct northwestern Iranian language, and accompanied by a paraphrase in Persian that helps its understanding, has survived to this day and has linguistic importance. After Safi al-Din, the leadership of the Safaviyya passed to Sadr al-Din Musa. The order at this time was transformed into a religious movement that conducted religious propaganda throughout Persia, Syria and Asia Minor, and most likely had maintained its Sunni Shafi'ite origin at the time. The leadership of the order passed from Sadr ud-Din Musa to his son Khwaja Ali and in turn to his son Ibrahim. When Sheikh Junaid, the son of Ibrahim, assumed the leadership of the Safaviyya in 1447, the history of the Safavid movement was radically changed. According to R.M. Savory, Sheikh Junaid was not content with spiritual authority and he sought material power. At the time, the most powerful dynasty in Persia was that of the Karakoyanlu, the Black Sheep, whose ruler Jahan Shah ordered Junaid to leave Ardabil or else he would bring destruction and ruin upon the city. Junaid sought refuge with the rival of Karakoyanlu Jahan Shah, the Aqquayanlu Khan Uzun Hasan, and cemented his relationship by marrying Uzun Hasan's sister, Qadia Begum. Junaid was killed during an incursion into the territories of the Shirvanshah and was succeeded by his son Haydar Safavi. Haydar married Martha Alam Shah Begum, Uzun Hasan's daughter, who gave birth to Ismail, the first founder of the Safavid dynasty. Martha's mother Theodora, better known as Despina Khatun, was a Pontic Greek princess, the daughter of the Grand Comnenus John IV of Trebizond. She had been married to Uzun Hasan in exchange for protection of the Grand Comnenus from the Ottomans. After Uzun Hasan's death, his son Yaqub felt threatened by the growing Safavid religious influence. Yaqub allied himself with the Shirvanshah and killed Haydar in 1488. By this time, the bulk of the Safaviyya were nomadic or Turkish-speaking clans from Asia Minor and Azerbaijan and were known as Qizilbash, redheads, because of the distinct red headgear. The Qizilbash were warriors, spiritual followers of Haydar, and a source of the Safavid military and political power. After the death of Haydar, the Safaviyya gathered around his son Ali Mirza Safavi, who was also pursued and subsequently killed by Yaqub. According to official Safavid history, before passing away, Ali had designated his young brother Ismail as the spiritual leader of the Safaviyya.